This is a budget that will see potential growth in because of the new investments made by the legislature in behavioral health. Those are things that are related to housing, to crisis response, to individuals that are involved with the criminal justice system that intersects with community justice.
The Jackson County Budget Committee recently held public hearings to hear departmental presentations and review the recommended budget for 2022-23. Department presentations give us detailed insight and understanding of the services being provided to the citizens of Jackson County.
So here is our proposed operating budget. You can see that some of those sections of the pie have certainly changed. The green, it has gone from 55.93% up to the 64.25% for federal and state dollars. Lots of different reasons for that, but much of that is COVID, along with some of the new investment dollars that are coming through various programmings in the health and human services arena, such as behavioral health, and then the dollars we got for the new wells through environmental health. So quite a few additions to that. Many of those we'll see where they go. We don't know how much we're even getting. The formulas haven't been developed, and the state's been a little slow about getting that out to us. You can also see that our fees and billings have gone down. Again, that's pretty much a direct result of COVID and being able to have folks be able to access those services and be able to do those fees and those related service costs. This is a budget that will see potential growth in because of the new investments made by the legislature in behavioral health. Those are things that are related to housing, to crisis response, to individuals that are involved with the criminal justice system that intersects with community justice and some of those programs we have in place with them. 34,733 immunizations. Of those total immunizations, about 32,629 were COVID-19 vaccinations, and that actually included our two really large drive-through events and some of the time that we spent at community vaccination centers with FEMA and with the Department of Defense.
IT has two different programs. One is the Computer Replacement Fund, which is really just a savings account. The operations and the staff are not in this fund. It's a place where we can save up money for those types of purchases that don't happen every year, not just our general operating costs, but when we need to do capital replacements, periodic replacements of computers, things that purchases that only happen every 4 to 8 years or so. And then Information Technology Services, the other fund, that's where IT operates from. So that's where our staff are budgeted and all of our regular recurring costs. Our revenue sources were mostly funded by internal charges to departments. We're a central services department. 92% of our money comes from there, and about 2/3 of it is charges for general services that pretty much all the departments used. Another bit more than 1/4 of it is for services that are unique to particular departments. For example, the assessment software that's used by the assessor's department, only they pay for it. The airport's not paying for their software, that kind of thing. And then 8% of it comes from fees, and that's mainly the GIS fee. So that's a fee that's charged on recorded documents that relate to land transactions, and that funds all of our geographic information systems, all the things that support those land-based services that the county provides. As far as capital projects, we've got a big core switch replacement coming up for $325,000. That'll increase our backbone speeds. We're going to do a major website upgrade, which is actually a little bit overdue. Our current public website was designed and built about 6 years ago, which is, in the age of the internet, is pretty much forever. And then lastly, the big ticket item is we're planning a major phone system upgrade. The last time phone system was upgraded was 8 years ago, so in next budget years it'll be 9 years old.
So I want to give a huge shout out to Michelle and my staff and my colleagues in the budget office. We did win the Gfoa Triple Crown Award for 2019. We are one of 293 governments in the United States and Canada to win this award. It means that we got the Distinguished Financial Reporting, the Popular Annual Report, and the Distinguished Budget Award. only 1 out of 9 in Oregon and 1 out of 2 counties in Oregon, Deschutes County being the other one. To put it into perspective, 4,300 governments get just the financial reporting award. So for us to be 1 in 293 that actually got this Triple Crown award was huge.
With the building program, we had used some wildfire grant money that we had got and started a virtual inspection program, which means that contractors now can go out and remotely show their inspections to the inspectors and do it in the field. That saves everybody time, saves the county time and money on going out, and it also saves the contractors, the ability of having to wait for an inspection to show.
The core thing of what we're all about at the county surveyor's office is we are the physical backbone of legal records on the ground, being survey monuments, and records of surveys and corner records that define whose is what and where it is. And the whose is what is based on the deed that the county clerk records. The work that we quietly do is really composed between 2 programs. One is the corner restoration program, and the other, we refer to it as the surveyor program. In terms of this program, since I did just mention fire, I will, it's a big topic. Literally overnight, we picked up 10 years of work, and maybe more than that. And there's just nothing we can do about it. We're still searching for corners, trying to make sure the evidence is there. We found a lot, but it basically just takes time. With what we dealt with in very urban areas, all surveying has to be precise, but when we're dealing with a corner in timber country versus a corner in the middle of Talent, in the middle of Talent, we've got maybe 40 or 50 surveys that have tied to it over the years, and we need to evaluate those relationships before we just put the corner back. Otherwise, we could inadvertently create a problem. Whereas in timber country, like a lot of the open chain corners that are on, burnt ranches, but were also sub-rural lands where a lot of people had homes. Those corners are related to bearing trees, where typically those are the accessories to the corner. All we're finding a lot of times is just the corner monument and just scorched earth, no trees, so the recovery time has been huge. But for these large tracts where you've got public lands against private, we're really making the effort to try and find the corners.